Hello and welcome into the PHNX Cardinals podcast presented by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. I'm Johnny Venerable. It looks like on my end, the main background screen is still stuck. Do we need to be added to the stream? There we are.
There we are.
Couple of beautiful gents here on a football Friday. Again, I'm Johnny Venerable, joined as always by my partner in crime, my dear friend, Mr. Bo Brock. Frank Sanders, looking like he copped Kliff Kingsbury's OTA hat.
Somebody got to be a coach around here, and goddamn it, it's me.
Be sure to like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. Mr. Bo Brock and I sporting our Four Peaks Brewery here. Very excited about the partnership. We're going to get to that
I
and
got to
more
talk
later
to somebody
on.
who's going to get me a goddamn truck to drop off a 29-pack to my house. This is some bull job.
You got to talk to the GM. The GM is comping some free beverages. And
you know what? It's once Steph Bookman stops acting like Steph Bookman, then I'll be able to get me some doggone some Four Brewers, some Four Peaks. I'm just saying, I remember yesterday's show and who he was.
Yeah, I do too. Bo, it's good to see you.
It's great to see all of you guys on a football Friday. We're having some cold ones. Frank, I feel like Frank was just doing some gardening or something. He was just back there and embracing his green thumb. He's just missing some zinc on his nose. What? No, you just think.
I was slaying the homies, brother, in some golf. I just left the Legacy golf course. I won about $137 on some dudes, man. Truck Robinson, former basketball player, NBA. Roy Green, the Jet, was out there also, and a buddy of mine named Ruben Martinez. They all gave into the pot. So today's story is gonna meet exactly when you have a hangover, what you need to eat. They paying for all that today for me.
Fun fact, we saw Roy Green, myself, and the GM Saul Bookman at the NFL Combine in March. Had only the best things to say about Frank. And we talked about great tandems for the Arizona Cardinals entering this season. You can't beat the great tandem of Roy Green and Frank Sanders once upon a time. So we talk about one pairing to potentially another as we begin our fine program today. And we talk about who else? Kyler Murray, Kliff Kingsbury. Both gentlemen, you presume, will be locked up with the Arizona Cardinals long-term. Kingsbury already is, agreeing to a 5-year extension in February, and we are all just waiting on bated breath for that Kyler Murray mega extension that we feel like days, weeks, hopefully not months away, but it is coming. But, gentlemen, it was interesting. Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports was ranking pressure for quarterbacks, and he had something interesting to say about Kyler Murray as it relates to Kliff Kingsbury, and who, in fact, is under more pressure to perform this upcoming season.
Medium to high medium, but medium. He's good. It's established. He saved the franchise. It's established. He's gotten better every year. It's established. I think Kliff Kingsbury has got a little pressure, higher pressure than him, because college and pro, Kliff Kingsbury's teams get worse every year of his career late. And I think some of that's Kliff, and not Kyler's teams in college didn't get worse late. So I don't sense a lot of pressure. I think the pressure with him is they're going to pay him and he wants to perform. But I have no doubts I would pay him tomorrow if I was the Cardinals.
Interesting, Mr. Bo Brock.
Yeah, I don't see or hear any lies from Colin Cowherd. I think he's right, but at the same time, he knows this as well. You're only as good as your next game. And if Kyler Murray comes out of the gates the first game after signing a $40+ million contract and looks like he did against the Los Angeles Rams on Wild Card Monday Night Football, there's going to be some very angry Cardinals fans. There's going to be some people that are panicking, and they're going to wonder, oh, do we have a little bit of buyer's remorse? And then that pressure is going to go up a little bit. But he's right now. I think that the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray, they're both in a very comfortable space. And as far as Kliff Kingsbury, people will say, well, he's got that 5-year extension. He can't be feeling any heat right now. But he's coming off an 11-win season that a lot of people, unfortunately, view as kind of an L, that they went out so badly, and it continued the trend of Kliff Kingsbury not performing at the end of the season and his team not performing at the end of the season, that there's no cap pit if they cut bait with Kliff Kingsbury. Sure, it stinks that you got to absorb 5 years worth of an extension. But if things go horribly awry, Kliff Kingsbury, K2, could be on the way out the door a lot easier than Kyler Murray. So the pressure is on K2 to perform and continue the trend that he's been on in improving the team each and every season.
I would agree with you on the notion that K2 is definitely under, I mean, he's under immense pressure to perform as a head coach, but I'm going to go just a little bit further. Kyler Murray is 100% under the gun. He's sitting in hot grease right now, like sitting on the right side, man, a bag of catfish that's already seasoned and ready to go, that's been filleted and ready to go into some hot grease, bro. It is a situation right now that both of these guys got to perform. This offense has to do something totally entirely different than what it did last year, which is not fumble the ball on the second half of the season. This has been Kliff Kingsbury's resume. It's unfortunate that is his resume, but it has to change, and it has to change this year, although he has a long-term contract with the Cardinals. If the Cardinals sign to a long-term deal, Kyler Murray, which we expect, but if they sign him to a long-term deal, he's under the hot seat 100%. They've given him two great receivers in regards to, one, DeAndre Hopkins, number two, his number one friend and friend from doubt. But without a doubt, Kyler Murray is on the hot seat, hotter than any other quarterback in the NFL right now.
Jason brings up a good point in the
name that's been greater than this entire offseason besides Kyler Murray. He's been the hottest name, the hottest topic, and if he doesn't perform, it's definitely going to be egg on his face.
Jason brings up a good point in the chat. Kliff will be under a microscope the second half of the season. He knows the pressure. Plus, it would be viewed on the national spotlight with Hard Knocks. I think, Bo made a great point when that series was announced for the Cardinals. I think the biggest winner is going to be Kliff Kingsbury, because everything we hear about him, and this is cliche, but it bears repeating, J.J. Watt, Zach Ertz have both attested. He works harder than anybody in that building. He's there at 4 a.m. I think Kliff Kingsbury is going to come away glowingly from Hard Knocks. Personable. Players love him. Zach Ertz has mentioned that he's the most relaxed, easygoing coach he's ever played for. And I think Doug Peterson, once upon a time in Philadelphia, tremendous head coach. Different, but tremendous all the same.
Did you say Doug Peterson, Super Bowl champ coach? Did you say?
Yeah, that's
Make sure
who it is.
Acknowledge that.
I'm
first,
not saying
Kliff don't have one yet, so we need to make sure you relax, but you need to get your shit together, because if you don't have Doug Peterson's attitude, you won't be in the championship. So you need to go talk to Doug Peterson and get off Sean McVay's list of how to get to his wedding. Yeah. Screw that. Get to Doug Peterson so we get a Super Bowl championship. That's all Johnny wants.
I was knocking on Doug Peterson's door last August when I thought, the Cardinals could be in some trouble in 2021. Jalen Blair, I think this is the assessment I agree with. Kliff isn't under any pressure. I feel Bidwell gave Keim and Kliff a pass for the season with those extensions. I think he's handcuffed to Keim, but not allowing him to spend, so we gave him a pass. I think that because of the extensions, like if Kliff Kingsbury wins 5 games this year, he's not getting fired. Newsflash, everybody. Barring something unforeseen, you think Michael Bidwell wants to? You think Michael Bidwell wants to pay out 4+ remaining years on a contract and look like an idiot? I think both of these gentlemen are under equal pressure. That's a cop-out answer. No, they will be your head coach quarterback combo, barring something unforeseen like Kyler leaving for baseball in 2023. So I don't even know if this is the right question to ask. It probably needs to be asked again next year, depending on how the season goes. But I'm telling you definitively, Kliff Kingsbury got a nice, lengthy extension that came out of nowhere, presumably. And this ownership, they love Kliff Kingsbury. He's gotten better each of his first 3 years in the NFL. And this is somebody that has criticisms. I have criticisms with Kliff clear at the end of the year. He also went 2-1 without Kyler Murray. He went 4-2 in the division. Both these guys are going to be here long term. So I think Kliff right now, from a media standpoint, is more respected than Kyler Murray. Not in terms of what he does in his craft, but again, Bo, we go back to these quarterback rankings that we see predominantly this offseason. There's an agenda against Kyler Murray because people do not like, number one, how he finished the season in LA, and then all the garbage that's been spewed about him in the offseason. So I don't know. I feel like Kliff is under the radar right now, in my opinion.
Kliff is under the radar, but there's going to be somebody that's going to have to pay if the team goes 5-12 next season. And it's not going to be Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray, if you want to move off of him, if he underperforms, and he's tied to a guaranteed contract with 150, 160, 180 million dollars to him. You can't cut bait from Kyler Murray. It's going to be, if the development stops for K1, it's going to be, they're going to point to Kliff Kingsbury because they can get rid of Kliff Kingsbury. If K2 can't do it, we got to find somebody who can, because we can't move off of Kyler Murray. It's too tough as far as what they're going to get into financially in the cap.
Don't you feel like Kyler and Kliff's success are tied to each other? I've watched the Cardinals lose games when the offenses perform well, like against Seattle late in the year. I do think, for lack of a better term, like the sacrificial coach would be Vance Joseph, because if Kyler Murray plays well this year, that's a direct correlation, like it or not, with Kliff Kingsbury. Now, you could say he could succeed with any coach. I think it really depends on the optics. Like, is their offense top 10 or top 12, but they won 6-7 games and the defense fell off? I think, to me, and I'll throw it to you, Frank, like that, we have to see how the season plays out, but I think their success they're tied to one another. I really do.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. The success is tied together in the idea that Kliff and his offense, Kyler makes that offense works and it goes well, considering that they both came in at the same time. But what will happen is, I have to agree with Bo in the conversation, is that, look, if you are supposed to be the head coach and not only that the team goes 5-12, that's again, we have to go back to when you say optics. Last year, our home games record was horrible. The optics was terrible that you couldn't win at home as the head coach. And at the end of the season, you did exactly what we thought you would do, from the local media and the national media. That in itself was a slap in the face, because the national media would give us no conversation. And the only part was that they was waiting for us to fall off the map. And next thing you know, we fall off the map. Head coach up for head coach of the year, quarterback up for quarterback of the year, MVP player of the year, and both of them fell off the map at the tail end of the season. So they are tied together, but once you give your quarterback the contract, he becomes the one that is the scapegoat out of the two. It's ugly to be said, but in truth, if Kliff does not do his job well, then he could be on the hot seat. Jalen Blair makes a good point. The ownership loves Kliff. I agree with that. They do love him, and apparently that's why they gave him Michael Bidwill's loyalty toward what he deems as people he view as people that's loyal to him. Kliff has been that person to him. Steve Keim has been that person to him. But guess what? At the end of the day, when the national media and the local media start screaming out, "You suck," this guy needs to be fired, the general manager and the head coach, not the head coach, but the owner, is going to have to make a decision, because the optics will get really, really ugly pretty fast.
Also, let me note that Steve Wilks' contract is coming off the books this year. They did cut bait, who signed a 4-year contract to become the head coach and was one and done. He's one and done. So, I mean, it might make it a little easier. If they go 5-12, it's catastrophic. I mean, it means 100%. That Kyler Murray's development stunted. If there's not going to be a scenario, in my opinion, where Kyler Murray performs and this team underperforms. They just, and they said it several times during primetime games. They said that Kliff Kingsbury acknowledged that this team goes as Kyler Murray goes. Kyler Murray plays like an MVP or at an MVP level, we're all going to be fine. But if they underperform, Michael Bidwill, the fan base, everybody is going to say, what the hell's going on? And after a 5-12 season, 6-11, whatever it might be, whatever's not improvement, because nobody's head rolled after last season. Somebody's head is going to have to roll if they take a step back. And it's going to be, it could be.
It'll be their defensive coordinator.
No, I won't be the defensive
If it's the offense that's underperforming and everybody sees that, they're going to realize that this team is not holding itself truly accountable. And they don't want those optics as well. They've got $40 million plus going to their quarterback. Once they put pen to paper, that pressure is going to be immense for them to make sure that they don't just continue to squander his contract going forward.
I think from a national perspective, let's take a 3,000-foot view and step away from inside that building down in Tempe and say, okay, national perspective with the Arizona Cardinals, who's under more pressure? I think it's Kyler Murray, in the sense that people kind of know what Kliff Kingsbury is now. You mentioned it, like he is what he is at the end of the season, but he can put together, he's not a joke. There was a misconception when he came into the NFL, and even kind of leading into last season. Like, this is Jim Tomsula. No, this is not, the guy in Detroit with the pencil in his ear, Matt Patricia. This isn't Jim Tomsula. Like, this is a competent NFL coach. So, in my opinion, I think Kliff Kingsbury has already exceeded expectations in the NFL, which does not allow him. Yeah, he's under pressure with this new deal, and people want to laugh at how he finishes the season. But his winning percentage is almost over 500. He has a better regular season winning percentage than his peer in the division, Kyle Shanahan. He plays in the toughest division in football. Kyler Murray, the swords are already drawn with the criticism because of how this offseason has gone. And then you just wait. Like, we're going to be celebratory the day Kyler Murray signs his extension. I don't care what number it is, because I'm desperate for a young franchise quarterback long-term for this organization. I will make a prediction. The general consensus from every other franchise, every other fan base, the national media is that's a mistake. He didn't earn it. And that will put added pressure. I don't think people look at Kliff Kingsbury and say, well, he's under huge pressure to perform. And I usually agree with Con. I'm going to disagree with him here, because I think people are just like, yeah, Kliff can get to the playoffs. Cardinals are a playoff team right now via the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And if you want to get in on that action, you know what you need to do. Use that promo code PHNX. I already put a futures bet on the Cardinals making the playoffs next year. I think their over-under right now is right around 8.5. Hammer the over. Actually, hammer the over on a lot of prop bets. Hollywood Brown, I would take his over on receiving yards. But right now, we are in NBA season. There's no Phoenix Suns in the finals. But are you ready for the NBA champion to be crowned? Hopefully it's not Golden State. Boston Celtics all the way. Join the finals action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 bet and get $150 in free bets instantly. Looking to turn another small bet into a big payday during the NBA Finals with DraftKings Same Game Parlay? You can do just that this NBA season. A customer placed a $5 Same Game Parlay and get this, won over $5,000. That has not happened yet for me on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I've had some nice payouts, not quite $5,000. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets, like which team's going to win, total threes made, total rebounds, and more. And boom, you have a shot at an even bigger payout. If you don't think you can set this up, I literally was with my parents. They were in their 60s. I got them hooked up with DraftKings. You can do it too. It's a call to action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use that promo code PHNX. Make any $5 bet during the NBA Finals. Get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code PHNX only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customer only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. My DraftKings pick of the week, gentlemen. While I like Boston to win the series, hammer that Golden State money line tonight. Plus a tasty little prop for you. Steph Curry plus 160 to hit 3+ 3-pointers. That's easy money, gentlemen, in my opinion.
Hey, Bo, I didn't know it was wear your hat backwards. Let me turn mine around. Here you go.
There you go. Represent that shield, Frank. Mm-hmm. Yes. The shield. I just saw in the comments, code ZEO. That's Kohler, my Zero Coal IPA, saying that Suns and CPA or CP3 are playing in the Sun City finals. That ain't cool, man. That's just not cool.
The point guard.
The point guard.
The point guard.
Where is he? Where is he? And does anybody know?
He's on vacation. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. He's on vacation, brother.
But I am drinking my Four Peaks Brewing Company Zero Coal IPA. It's unbelievable. We're pumped about our new partnership. Oh man, last time you were at Four Peaks, Frank and I, we were there. We were chugging. We were doing some promo shoots. We were having a blast. Johnny wasn't there. He was there in spirit though. And we had some great food. We had the pretzel. We had the spinach artichoke dip. It's like, it's a brewery. Delicious. But we talk about misconceptions about Kliff Kingsbury. The misconception about breweries is they don't have good food, but Four Peaks has unbelievable food, the best beer in town. And since 1996, it's just been part of the fabric of Arizona, of State 48. And we're pumped to be partner with them. And in honor of Four Peaks, great food, great beer, we wanted to do a little bit of a draft today, Johnny and Frank, a little snake draft for the best food when you're about 3 sheets to the wind. When you've had too many and you're in that Uber ride home and you're Frank the Tank Ricard and you're saying, hey, honey, you think KFC's still open? You're looking for that one prime time spot, or you get it at home. If you're somebody that's not like me and you trust yourself working the oven when you're inebriated, you can. Everything's on the board here. The best drunk food, my guys. Frank Sanders, you have you're the Jacksonville Jaguars here. You get the number 1 pick. What's your best? What's the best drunk food?
What I do know is in South Florida and on the East Coast, and I know we have it here on 32nd Street. We have it on Chandler Boulevard. We also have it on Baseline. Waffle House.
Wow.
If I can pull up into a Waffle House, man, and get me a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich or a Texas cheesesteak sandwich, man, on that bun that they do, it'll snap me back ready. I could drive from here to California after just leaving a good spot, slushy and ready. I don't care. Waffle House is always on the top for me. My man got Code Zero, got White Castle.
Still on the board. That's a hell of a first pick. That's much better than we're already off to a better start, Bo, than our donut draft, by the way. This is something I feel like Frank has a little bit more expertise in this arena.
I do like that JJ Watt, like our donut draft, JJ Watt was finally given the strawberry frosted donut from Zach Ertz, and he's like, no, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. There is a grudge. There is a rift in the locker room, and Donut Gate continues on between the offensive and defense.
Okay.
So, Johnny, you're up next, my friend.
Yeah, I kind of tipped my pick ahead of this draft with Bo, and I think I'm going to classify this as hole-in-the-wall Mexican food. The kind of Mexican joints that you can get 1 a.m., 2 a.m., dare I say 3 a.m. There's a great place in my hometown of Bloomington, Illinois called La Bamba, and you could always get it in my days, my early 20s. You hit up all the bars, you be out, right? You pregame 10:30, you go out, you hit the bars hard for 2 or 3 hours. You finish, you cap your night at La Bamba. Hole-in-the-wall Mexican food. I would always go with the biggest, dirtiest burrito imaginable. And then if I was feeling not so healthy, I would also double down, get some loaded nachos. My wife, my beautiful wife at the time, that was always her go-to. So La Bamba, you did not feel good in the morning, but it helped to kind of soak up the grease, right? Because at least if I'm going to feel bad in 2 areas, right, head and stomach, if I can eliminate the headache with a little bit of grease and just double down on the stomach, I'm in good shape. So number 2 overall on the drunk board for food is hole-in-the-wall Mexican, Bo.
I can't disagree with it. I feel like you took it right beneath me. I was ready to take it because they think like Filiberto's or any of the Bertos in town that qualifies. You get some of those rolled tacos, they just pile on the cheese and the guacamole. It's unbelievable. We got the California burrito, the Texas burrito there. You can't go wrong at any of the Bertos. So I'm pretty disappointed. I'm gonna have to build my team around, the next best thing if they're shut down. Something that I know is Old Trusty. It's just like it's an oasis in the desert. It's just a beacon often. It's Taco Bell. I'm going to go with Taco Bell as my number 1 pick, okay? Because you can't go wrong. Mexican pizza's back on the menu. You can get the soft taco supreme. You can get the 7-layer burrito. Whatever tickles your fancy, you can go spend $7 and get 100 items from Taco Bell. Be golden. Taco Bell is my number 1 pick, 3rd overall of the drunk food draft. I like what we're seeing in the chat. Jack in the Box. I saw some guy was using the facilities that were not the facilities one time in a Jack in the Box drive-through when we were picking up some food late at night and ended up falling down the hill and sandwiching himself between the next door gas station. It was unbelievable.
Hey,
what do we got? Some Panda
my guy Sly is talking to Panda. Who pulled up and got Panda before he got on the show today?
Sly and Frank, brothers in disguise.
That's right.
My dude. Hey, Sly also said Jack in the Box 100%. Let me tell you about Jack in the Box. You guys should know this. This is a local favorite. I mean, everyone loves Jack in the Box tacos. Their tacos. I don't know what they crave, but when they're hungry, it is let's go to Jack in the Box, man, and grab like some tacos. And I'm not a fan of their tacos, but the Panda Express slide, it was 100%. I'm a fan of my man Panda, and then I'm back. I was hurting. I'm back now. We can do 3 shows. I'm ready. Let's go.
Is that your second overall pick, Panda Express?
Oh, absolutely not. Hell no. look, I every now and then you catch them at the right moment, but when you catch them at the right moment, they're open at 24 hours. What I will say this here is that they're never open at 24 hours. So what I'm gonna have to digress from Popeye's chicken that would be if they're open, but Whataburger, man, if you can catch you a good Whataburger sandwiches are always fresh. You in line a long time, hope you don't fall asleep by the time you get to the window so you can get your stuff because you're inebriated. But look, Whataburgers, food is always fresh, and it's a good salty base kind of meal when they put the pickles and their onions. And look, don't drop any onions in your car when you leave Whataburger because 100% your car is gonna stink for the next 3 days.
I'm into it. I have been anxious to try Whataburger. I did not too long ago for the first time. Yeah, I know. I had never tried it before. I don't think it's quite as good as, say, an In-N-Out burger, but they're much more accessible. And if you talk about being open late, like I don't think In-N-Out is open that late. And I think
Correct.
it is.
It is. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've been the one in Tempe.
2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
2 o'clock in the morning.
I've seen lines around the block before. And look, Whataburger and In-N-Out are not in the same tier.
They're not.
Stand by
I agree.
That. I'll
I will
stay
agree
on
with
that
you
hill,
on that.
and I will die on that hill.
I agree with you.
What is superior to you then?
In-N-Out burgers.
In-N-Out
without a
burger.
doubt. Yeah. They got something that's going on over in their grease or something to do with their patties a little different than Whataburger does with theirs.
Before my second pick, I pulled the Twitter streets this morning. This is like the first tweet I fired off today because I've been anxious to try this. I haven't yet. And then I see ads for it, like Ice-T's doing ads for it. I just put out a tweet, is Raising Cane's good? And I got 107 aggressive responses. Actually, now it's up to 120 from it's the best thing I've ever eaten. It's garbage. You're a fucking idiot. All of the above. You gotta love Twitter. So I am putting that on my list to try, especially when you've had a couple cocktails. Drive responsibly, by the way. Drink responsibly as well. I'm gonna go second overall pick, a stalwart. I'm gonna get back into the chain with you gentlemen. Domino's Pizza is open till 1 a.m. Is it good? I don't know, but it's available. And I think by default, we need to allow some consistency on this list. You know, every town in America just about has a Domino's, right? You know what to expect. Old, reliable, old, faithful, right? If I'm in a town I've never been to and I'm like, these other pizza places, I'm not sure, they're not open. Domino's is open to 1, 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. Just get an old, reliable, loaded sausage, pepperoni. It's one step above, like I would say, frozen pizza, but sometimes you just want a little bit of takeout. So I will go second pick in the drunk food draft, Domino's Pizza, gentlemen.
Sometimes you need to be a trash bag and you need to get that delivery pizza. There's so many great pizza options like in town, like that you could go and you can sit down at a restaurant that you choose over Domino's. But sometimes you just want to revert to being a piece of garbage, and I'm all for it. And getting some Domino's, that's the number one seed. I think it's better than like Papa John's and Pizza Hut. I'm going to stay in the pizza realm, but I'm going to go with the old pizza rolls. The one that's that you wake up and there's 100% chance that you burn the roof of your mouth because you cannot not take the first pizza roll off the plate 1 second after it's out of the microwave. And you're just scalding. You got first-degree burn. Great play. Right at the top of your mouth. Give me the pizza rolls all day. Hopefully you're cooking responsibly. You're baking responsibly. Maybe you just use the microwave oven on this one to avoid burning your condo or apartment down. Because it's worth it, because you'll sit there in a daze, whatever you wanted to stream or watch SportsCenter for the 18th time after you get home and just gnaw on some pizza rolls. That's my number 2 pick.
That's great.
That's awesome, right? Great pick, man. Pizza rolls. Look, I have burned the top of my mouth many nights. Dated a girl at one time, man. That was her go-to all the time. And we had pizza rolls, and we had like this little raggedy pizza sitting in the freezer for no reason. Like, what's up with that? She's like, you'll find out when we get home. You'll find out after we come back. And it's like that thing hits the oven, and man, or that pizza rolls hit the microwave, and next thing you know, you. Yes.
You're less patient than Eric Burkhart for a Kyler Murray extension with those pizza rolls. When that ding comes off, you're going for it.
Good call. Good call, man. Love it. Look, guys, look, we're gonna like Justin. Do we need a third round pick for this?
Yes, you have to pick one more. Do we want to come back to you, maybe?
Look, you know what? Honestly, I will have to say when I get to the house, man. If there's something there at this moment, like I mean, I'm a cereal guy, and if I can get me some, if I could just get me either some Frosty Flakes or just some French Toast Crunch, man. And then in the late night, now guess what? That milk's not going to be good for the girding of the belly somewhere in the middle of the night. But I'm telling you what, a nice bowl of cereal, I will murder when I get to the house. I will murder when I get to the house. Frosted Flakes is my third pick in the late night drive. Flakes. Just made it home. Just made it home. Got to get the Frosted Flakes.
That's respectable. My pick is not respectable, but it's cliche. I feel like it has to be done. You rip the Band-Aid off, and I'm going to say Mickey D's McDonald's because of, again, the availability, the dollar menu.
Boy, you know what you're talking about. Boy, you know what you're talking about.
Once upon a time, the McChicken, the McDouble. The inflated prices at McDonald's now give me pause. I went to get a Happy Meal for my kids a couple nights ago. 2 Happy Meals is like $12 now. It's a ripoff. You might as well go somewhere else. But once upon a time, when you're 3 sheets to the wind, as Bo said, and you can get to a McDonald's, presumably like walking distance, you could go to town and get some of the best late night food imaginable. I'm a McRib guy, but that's not particularly a great drunk food. But you go with the classics, the fries, maybe the Coke hits different at McDonald's. So my board is complete. I will go with I went with a bunch of American staples.
You got some good ones though.
Hole in the wall, Mexican, Domino's, McDonald's. Bo, I pass it to you to finish this off.
And I'm glad you left on the board one of the more elite late night drunk food. Talk about value menus. I think as far as fast food goes, it might not be like the top dog as far as the fast food chains go, but oh man, that red-headed little minx, Wendy, she has the best value menu, especially when you got a few pops in you from earlier in the night. You got the spicy chicken nuggets. Give me those. They used to be $1. I don't know what they are, but they're a little bit more affordable than McDonald's, whatever that clown's making you pay, as you said, $12 for 2 Happy Meals. Give me that Frosty. You're dipping your fries in it. You're just not even thinking about, what state you're going to be the next day. You're being reckless. And Dave Thomas and Wendy, they allow you to do
Dave. R.I.P. Dave. Is he dead?
Yeah. R.I.P. Dave.
Has to be dead.
Give me Wendy's and that gorgeous value menu. Now, I will say, nothing hit harder than the yellow boxes back in Wendy's days, but now they're red, a little bit different, like the McDonald's Coke. It just hits a little different in the yellow box.
Would you say that Wendy, from an appeal standpoint, is just the most like inviting mascot of all the fast food chains? I think like some of these other ones are a little overly aggressive. The Jack in the Box portrait scares me. I've also only been there a couple of times and have not good experience. I ordered their egg rolls. That was a mistake. I always felt like Wendy's was like
big mistake.
Little House on the Prairie vibe. You're going to be taken care of here. And I think it always translated in their food, Bo.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, unless you're scared of like gingers or redheaded people, I think that you're fine.
Do we have any redheaded people here at PHNX? Does anybody have red hair here? I think that's
I don't know. My kid, for whatever reason, has red hair. That's why I need a DNA test.
You probably, definitely do that. Kid has red hair. You don't know. Nobody's in the family has red hair. You want to definitely do a DNA test.
Now, are we gonna tap into our producer Shane, because I think he's an expert. Maybe he can give us some early
Shane,
be the Mel Kiper of this draft. Tell us like who had the strongest performance.
He said he was eating before the show. And he's the youth of this company. And so when I want to feel cool as a 34-year-old 5'6" white man, I go to Shane a lot and say, Shane, what do I do about X, Y, and Z? I'm not from here. And he usually keeps me honest. So Shane, grade it right now. Rapid reaction. Be the Mel Kiper the next day. Tell us who won this draft.
This is a C- across the board.
Wow.
First of all, you got to give the snake draft format a try, so nobody can get stacked up top. Luckily, you had Frank drafting first, who took a cereal as a favorite drunk food. I think hole in the wall Mexican is a fantastic pick. I think not hitting Jack in the Box is So disrespectful. In-N-Out is fantastic for a drunk food. But Wendy's, Bo?
Yeah.
Wendy's?
I will dig in on Wendy's.
I will murder oh my God, murder.
Here's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. You kidding me?
Bacon cheese. It's a biggie bag. You get the biggie bag.
I think the winner, even though he drafted Frosted Flakes, I think I have to go with Frank because Waffle House is unbelievably elite. And not only are you getting the fantastic food, I mean, give me my hash browns chopped, diced, and mushed like all day, but you're also getting the entertainment that is a Waffle House at 3 a.m., which is just unrivaled. And Whataburger is elite. So I think I gotta go with Frank on this one.
I appreciate your response. I'm going to disagree with something that we talked about earlier. And I consider myself a West Coast elitist now. I love it. Most of America is not in proximity to an In-N-Out burger. So I feel like that might need to go by the wayside here as an option. Because if I grew up with an In-N-Out burger before I turned 30 years old, it would have been a top pick. But I feel like I tugged at the Midwest America's heartstrings with my selections. I feel like that should be accounted for.
Well, it shouldn't, because this is a Arizona-based sports company, and that's what the viewers are going to be voting on. I do like the pick of Domino's and McDonald's, but Taco Bell slipped way too far. I don't know if he has off the field issues, but there's no way Taco Bell should go in the third. It just doesn't.
He got flagged for a medical, I think.
Yeah. I take Taco Bell over.
He's in the bathroom.
Guys, hey, relax, guys. He already gave me the
the trophy goes to Frank. Congratulations.
Right. Shane, thank you for coming off mute and hanging with us. We have so much fun here, if you can't tell, here at PHNX. But I want to remind everyone, what are you going to do?
Look, Portillo's, man. That Portillo's, 91 Claycomb, like that.
How late does Portillo's stay open? I don't think it's open. I have never gotten Portillo's.
I'm just saying, get you something before you go out, because when you come back home, that Portillo's is fire.
Yeah, Portillo's out in Tempe Marketplace is fantastic, but I don't think I could ever get there post like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Now they do have a really convenient drive-through. But regardless, if you guys are out this year, let's be smart. Summer's here. We're having a lot of fun. We're prepping for the NFL season. Pool parties, right? My family's hanging in the pool. I'm here grinding because I love my fellas. Love PHNX. Barbecues, enjoying the beautiful weather. Number one thing to remember, though, is to be safe and to be protected. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are eligible for the booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location nearest to you. Again, visit azhealth.gov/find vaccine for a location nearest to you. Again, take your shot with COVID-19 vaccine. It's free for everybody 5 and up. Let's be smart. Let's have a good time. We want to see everybody this fall when we're kicking ass, taking names. We're having our tailgate events, right? I don't want anybody, being compromised by this thing. So let's get protected with COVID-19 vaccines.
I can't believe you robbed me of the biggest, easiest transition ever from the foods we were discussing and our partner OGs. I could have just walked right into that, but now I have to follow up. Of course,
I'm gonna sit on that all weekend and feel like just the worst friend.
I mean, you just botched that one. But look, let's get back to it. I feel like Jim Brewer and Half Baked, and we're starting to throw out the best places to eat what we want after we have a couple OGs, because OGs obviously is Arizona's first scratch-made cannabis company, and it's going to get you in the mood for some great food. OGs, of course, they're creating innovative and memorable cannabis-infused products that flavor life's journey. I'm looking at their website right now, ogsbrands.com. You got the fruits, you got the creams, you got the ratio gummy available in indica, you've got sativa, and you've got Peg's RSO gummy. They've got everything you want that you're looking for as far as your edibles go, and you can kind of tailor it to what you want from it. Edibles, not a one-size-fits-all product, which is why OGs is proud to offer a wide range of products for all demographics, all preferences, those who like Jack in the Box, those who like Wendy's, also those who like to get tropical. Check their tropical flavors out: guava, strawberry, kiwi, raspberry, orange, pina colada, or you can go kind of the ice cream truck route and get that Frank Sanders special, the orange cream sickle bomb gummy. You got to check them out. Of course, you want to learn more about OG's Brands. Go to ogsbrands.com to find more info and more on OG's Brands near you. That's ogsbrands.com.
Should Frank Sanders just be the mascot for OGs at this point? I think I need an OG sample with Frank Sanders' face on it to remind me to have a good time when I'm having an OGs, Mr. Frank Sanders.
And look, if you're not having a good time when you're having OGs, and then you will be having a absolutely fabulous time, my brother.
91 Clay Comb. I'm a classic OG Kush guy. Hey, to each their own. It's legal here in Arizona. Just be responsible. Again, we're having a blast here at PHNX Cardinals. Want to remind everybody, check out the work of myself, Bo Brock, our many talented peers at gophnx.com. Become a member today. You want to dip your toe in? That's fine. If it's not payday, 99 cents for the first month, $8.99 for the subsequent month. Check out our PHNX merchandise locker. I showcased it earlier. I've got my point guard shirt on in respect. That's what I want to see. K1 themed-esque shirt. It's not Kyler Murray, but it kind of, it's a head that's familiar. Rise Up Red CT. Fantastic. Bo's rocking the lid. PHNX merchandise locker is the place to go. If you start seeing this stuff out in the valley and you want to get a slice, why wouldn't you? Go and gear up right now. And if you become a member at gophnx.com, that means you're getting everything. All the articles, the Discord, hanging with all of us. You get a free shirt. And the shirt basically pays for itself. It's fantastic. You can work out, and it's perfect for these 113-degree days. We don't sell the hat Frank Sanders has, but maybe one day we'll get a nice sun hat like that. Jose, you enjoy responsibly. You be safe, my friend. Gentlemen, it was an honor and a privilege to host the show with you this afternoon as we inch closer to mandatory workouts with the Arizona Cardinals. Emphasize on the word mandatory. And we'll see maybe the whole squad, the future 53 for the Arizona Cardinals. Tuesday. We got a special guest, we think, on Monday. We'll let you know.
Happening.
It is happening. What's happening on Monday, Bo?
So Kyle Odegaard, former just reporter, I guess, for azcardinals.com. Now he's working for a betting company, and he actually just unveiled his quarterback rankings, and we'll talk about where he placed Kyler Murray, who's very complimentary of the Arizona Cardinals quarterback. So Kyle Odegaard is going to join the show on Monday. Looking forward to that. Also, talking about gophnx.com, I'm working on an article right now about how the Arizona Cardinals need to emphasize Kyler Murray running the football and primarily running the football in the red zone. Kyler Murray, when he scores a rushing touchdown, I'll give you this little tidbit. You got to find the rest at gophnx.com when I get the article up. 11-2 over the last 2 seasons when Kyler Murray scores a rushing touchdown. 11-2.
Damn.
And
I love it.
He only has 2 games after week 10 where he scored a rushing touchdown. When do they struggle primarily, Frank Sanders?
Look, it's pretty awesome, my man, what my man brings to the table when they find a way to utilize him and utilize his legs. I mean, JV, we talked about that last year real quick. We talked about that, and his argument was that he didn't want to be a running quarterback. He wanted to be a pocket quarterback. And for the most part, that apparently we have to find balance so we can still be effective.
In-depth articles, special guests. We can't wait to have Kyle on. Kyle's been dropping bombs all offseason. We can't wait to pick his brain on Monday. But until then, everybody, be safe, be responsible. Go phnx.com. Show a little bit of class. Like, subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We will see everybody on Monday. Have a phenomenal weekend. Take care. Goodbye.